You guys, it's not even 2026 and we're already talking about 2027. This is the 2027 Kia Telluride. We got a sneak peek at this and there is so much to tell. I'm going to walk around it with you. I'm going to show you the details inside that I'm really excited about. But I want you to think about what you're seeing as I'm showing you the exterior and some of the interior details. And what does it remind you of? And why is it that we love this three-row SUV so much? It's really obvious, and if you're not getting it quite yet, you'll really understand once I tell you what it is I'm thinking and what inspired this and what makes it so beautiful. Be sure to follow along on all of our socials, subscribe to us right here on YouTube. Of course, there's a link to our newsletter down below, and when you see a video pop up in the corner, click it. We put it there because we think you're going to like it. The big news for 2027 is that the Kia Telluride is bigger. It's an inch taller, it's 3 inches longer in the wheelbase, 2 inches longer overall. A lot of great new features, more interior space, and then they did this thing which we can't really see here, but you will see when you see it out on the road, and that is the lighting story. There is lighting underneath the doors, underneath the liftgate. There is a work light in the liftgate. There's even puddle lights with the Telluride logo. All of that is designed to give you that warm glow of being present with your car and having your car be a part of your function, whether it's you're just getting stuff out of the car at the end of the day or you're setting up camp. That's where the Kia Telluride is there to help with all this beautiful lighting. We'll also see that beautiful lighting on the inside. There's a lot of light inside. It is ambient light that's presented in a new way to not just be light and beautiful, but also highlight the features in the car and help you find things that can be hard to find in the dark. I have to say I'm in love with the satin finish of this sand paint. There are new paint choices and new interior choices for 2027, but also notice this sort of satin finish on the front grille and on the Kia badge. As the X Pro edition, we're seeing these details. We'll probably see a variety of options on the other trims, but I want you to notice how the front grille kind of pops out. It has this very 3D look and feel to it. I also want you to notice these ridges on the hood. These, from the front seat, you'll be able to see where your wheel is going on the trail. That's what this really is designed to do, to help the human eye direct the machine in places where maybe it's a little hard to see because you're inside this very large SUV. And we have the surround view camera that will help you with that. But come around here, I want to show you a few more details. As the X Pro is outfitted with all-terrain tires, and then it has this really nice wheel arch that has this sort of diamond textured piece here and black gloss, and then it has this little just sort of architectural point of interest here over the wheel well. We have the same detail here, that sort of diamond finish here. It's got a little texture to it, and it looks a little glittery. They call it diamond. It reminds me kind of like a diamond nail file. A really nice contrast to a gloss black. And then we have these pop-out door handles. These are really nice detail. They will go flush with the body when the car is locked, and then they will pop out when you walk up with your key. And that is, it's really nice for aerodynamics, but it also gives a really modern look and feel to the Kia Telluride. You'll also notice we have these gloss black roof rails here, a nice little spoiler here. Under here is where you will see the camera, and tucked up under here, you can't see it, but that's where the windshield wiper is. There is a windshield wiper. They kept it very clean. They tucked it up there for a very clean look on the rear of the 2027 Kia Telluride. So what you're looking at and what I'm seeing are Range Rover vibes. Now, I do think Kia maybe was a little intentional with this color, but you'll also see it in the shape. You'll see it in the roofline. You'll see it in the rear end. You'll see it in the front end. Classic boxy SUV. That's what we loved in the first one, and that's what we're going to love in the 2027 Kia Telluride. I have so much more to show you, so come on. Let's take a look at the rear end before we climb inside. We talked about the wheel wells. I love that diamond, almost nail file style detail. Also notice we keep the waterfall taillights, and then we have the Telluride name here across the lower lift gate and the Kia badge here, and then of course tow hooks because this is the X Pro edition. Now I'm going to take you inside and show you what's new in the front seat because it's pretty amazing. Inside in the front seat of the 2027 Kia Telluride, there is a lot new. This is something that we've seen in the past, this flat sort of angled multimedia system. There's the touchscreen here, driver display there. It looks very crisp. It looks really beautiful. I wouldn't be surprised if there are updates there. Notice here, there are dual wireless phone charger pads here. This is something that we've seen, we're starting to see in new cars now. We've seen this in some Kias and some sister company Hyundais in the past. So not a big surprise, but a very welcome change. The steering wheel is really gorgeous. I love this. Flat on top and bottom, extra visibility here. In fact, they've done a lot with the design to give you more visibility so that you have a head-up display here in the X Pro version. There is I can see it projected here on the windshield, and we have this nice flat dash to give you all this visibility. We also have some really nice hood lines here that give you an idea of where your wheels are, where your tires are on the road ahead of you, something that if you're going to off-road in this X Pro edition, you will find very valuable. Let's talk about the center console. They actually added grab bars here. They have made more use of the center console space. They are leather covered, or actually leatherette covered. Another nice detail on the armrest here is the butterfly opening center console. It's shallow, it's not very big, and there's no power in here, no USB ports, so it's really just good for storage. But I like that your passenger can open it while you're still resting your elbow on the armrest. And then in here, there's a retractable panel, and this is where we have our cup holders, and these are the classic Kia retractable cup holders, a detail they did not take away, and I'm very excited to see that. Now, I want you to look down here. Look down here. There is this really nice carved out space there, but what you'll notice is there is orange light, and this light is really part of the story of the 2027 Kia Telluride. You'll also see the light here. You'll see it in here in this inside this retractable cubby here. You'll see it in the doors. You'll see this ambient light in places where normally we might see something a little bolder or a little more obvious, and that's because the light in this car is really designed to light up the space and give it dimension in the dark rather than just being a decorative detail. It really is very functional. Then I want you to notice here, look at this surface here, or you can see it maybe here. They've actually done some really nice things with materials. This is carbon. It's called an engineered carbon fiber, or sometimes it's called like a cut or a crushed carbon fiber. And this is a really beautiful detail in one of the 7 trims that Kia will offer on the 2027 Kia Telluride. Plus is this panel here that has home, map, search, media, favorites here, and setup. So you can get quick access to those touchscreen commands right here. Here is our volume dial for the radio, and I love this. It's textured and it feels really nice. It has that sort of utilitarian feel. It also is this, instead of being a knob, it's a very subtle little dial. We have air vents here that span this lower portion of the dash. Here are our climate controls, quick access to our climate controls. And then down here is where we have our 3 USB-C ports right above the 2 wireless charge pads. And then we have some of our drive features here. So there's our downhill descent. Here is our surround view camera. You can see here we're in a studio, so there's not much I can really do. I can show you all the people standing around here around the Kia Telluride. So I do have these nice, clear, crisp angles. I do really appreciate that, especially when somebody's left their toys in the driveway. And then we also have our auto hold button there. Another feature that they're showing us is this digital rear view mirror. So it toggles between a reflective view and a video view that shows us what is behind the car. This is really great at night, and it's really great when you have people sitting in all the seats. But we got to talk about this steering wheel. Flat on top and flat on bottom. That has been the trend with designers. It looks great. It also has this U-shaped center to it. The Kia badge here. We have our drive assist features here. We have our entertainment here. And down here is where you're going to find drive mode, and then in the X Pro version that we're in, terrain mode. Over here is Kia's new gear shifter. And this is where you can turn the dial for drive or reverse, and our stop start button is glowing right there. If you've been in any of Kia's EVs lately, you have seen this, and it looks familiar. It functions great, and I love where they located it because it allows the center space to be nice and open. But I want to hop in the rear seat, and I want to show you what you can expect back there, because with an additional 3 inches of length on the wheelbase, that means more passenger space and more legroom. Kia has not only increased the passenger space here in the rear seat, but they've also rethought a lot of the details. They are showing this with captain's chairs. There is a bench option, of course, so you have seating for 8 passengers, but I want you to check this out. So first of all, we've got cup holders here on the back of the center console, but we have this pull-out tray table that also has storage underneath it. So I can retract the top, and there's storage under here, or I can pull that out, a detail that we saw in the Hyundai Ioniq 9, I might say, and a very welcome detail. You can have it and you can put it away. I really love the headrests something that we don't really talk about enough. But the headrest here, you could actually put a tablet or a phone or something right here if you wanted, say, to stream something. Your rear passengers want to, say, stream something, or they just want to look at their phone. You can put something right there. You can also hang a tote bag or something here on this on the back of the seat, which is a nice design detail. And then we have these beautiful mesh headrests. The mesh is in the front. We will see those mesh headrests in the second row in some trims. This model has micro suede, and they're the same shape, but they're not mesh. And then we have this really beautiful micro suede and leather interior. But let's talk about kids' car seats. Big news here. 4 full sets of latches, so lower anchors and upper tethers in the 2 center outboard seats, and the 2 rear third row outboard seats also have lower anchors and upper tethers. So room for kids' car seats in almost every seat of the Kia Telluride, which is pretty good news. Let's talk about getting into the third row, because that's what everybody wants to know. How does that work? In the X Pro version that we're looking at, it has these mechanical release slide and tilt center row seats. That means this seat will slide and tilt with a child passenger car seat installed. Great news if you have the bench and you have kids' car seats. But another detail that I really love is there's a nice little step here, there's a dual step here, and there's a grab handle here for climbing into the third row. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I have just pulled this seat all the way back into its natural position, and I still have room for my legs, barely, but if I am sitting here in the center or would like to stretch out, this pass-through is really valuable. I can also push this seat forward if I'd like to. I don't really know how I do that. The seat can also be pushed forward to give me a little more leg room, or if you've got kids in car seats back here, give them a little more space as well. Rear seat passengers have some nice features. There's double cup holders here. These are the speaker covers, and then you'll see there's a USB port here. There's one on either side. There are air vents up here in the ceiling. There are 2 air vents, and there is a dome light, and there are light controls right here as well. Another nice detail is this climate control panel right here, reachable, very easily reachable by second row passengers, but third row passengers, especially with the pass-through, should be able to reach it as well. And we have our air vents here in the ceiling, which is a really nice detail, especially for parents with kids who are just coming from sports practice and they need a little air on their face, or if you're trying to direct air into a child passenger car seat. Ceiling air vents are always our favorite. But I really do love that center pass-through for getting in and out of the Kia Telluride. If you're going to use the third row in an SUV this size, that really is the way to go. A big part of our time here at the Kia Telluride preview has been spending time in the Kia Design Center. We are here in Irvine, California. They have opened up and set up some displays for us. I want to show you this. If you ever wonder how a car goes from idea to actuality, this is how it happens. So what you see here may actually look like the Kia Telluride for 2027, but this model, and it's a model, is hiding a little secret. It is actually a finished clay version. So you'll see the clay here on this side, and then you'll see how it's been painted and made to look like a real car there on that side. And this is how designers finish the model that they will use to build this car in a factory when they start to build it in West Point, Georgia. In fact, you can see here, this gentleman is the modeler, and he is using his hands and various tools to complete this clay model of the 2027 Kia Telluride. Over here, you'll see a lot of the inspiration. So sort of the vision wall, here are the drawings of the Kia Telluride. You can see some of it's a little, let's say, out of scale. The wheels are quite large, but that gives you an idea of what the designer's envisioning this SUV to be able to do. Not just drive everybody to school, but drive everybody up to the mountains, to that perfect vista where you'll be able to sit on the edge of the cliff and hope we don't fall. That's kind of a funny view. But you'll be able to see the different things that Kia's designers envision its buyers of the Kia Telluride doing with their SUV. Then you'll see here, this is the X Pro version, and this is where it gets really rugged, and this is the version that they've showed us today that we were able to see in person. And you'll see some of these details on the drawings that did come through from the original design into the prototype that they're showing us. So from these orange tow hooks and these accent clips over the wheels, they're a little more accented there on the photo in the drawing than they are in person. But you'll even see those diamond cut fender shapes, the designers really bring their what they're thinking of and what they're imagining, put it down on paper so others can see, and they can start to bring that design to life. Over here, you can see how they're imagining that interior space. So that long linear dashboard here, the screen, the steering wheel, what I think of as like almost like a tackle box or a very utilitarian style steering wheel, and then lighting. And we'll definitely take a look at the interior lighting. They showed us the car in a dark color, which I didn't love, but I do love that you can see this lighting underneath the dashboard. I'm going to stand back just a little bit, and all those light spots here in the drawing, that is where you'll have ambient lighting. You'll see these new door handles here. You'll see how they've envisioned the cabin space for passengers. They're definitely thinking captain's chairs there in the X Pro, and that's probably how they will package it and sell it, with captain's chairs. And then here are more drawings, more renderings of how they're envisioning a different interior. This one with this clubby brown, sort of a burnt orange or brown color here. And also on the steering wheel, this nice two-tone here. That is something I believe that we will see come to market. And then you'll see it here. And then this is a wood trim that they're showing on that design there. And you can even see how they're thinking about how humans fit into this space. So lots of linear spaces for us to relax and for our legs, and so we can sit back. But then the surround, having the dash sort of surrounding us here. And what one of the designers was thinking as they were creating these drawings. Here at Kia's Design Center in Irvine, California, we also got to take a peek at some of the other things that Kia is envisioning. You might see something like this at an auto show, and then there's this buggy, another thing that you might see at an auto show. And as designers, as automotive designers, put their ideas down on paper, they start to carve them out in clay, they print them in 3D models. They actually come up with things like this to illustrate how you might live and how their vehicles might enable a lifestyle that's so much more than just driving to work, driving the kids to school, and taking those occasional family road trips to grandma's house or Walt Disney World. But really going out to the adventurous places that require these huge wheels, huge tires, places where we can unfold all of our things from inside the car and create an exterior space in a place where there are not other people, where we can really soak in the air and the sunshine and nature all around us, and that allow us to climb up to those tallest mountains or find those distant dunes. And that's something that we really value in our vehicles. As they think about this, though, a lot of it translates to this, to 2027 Kia Telluride. It's been really great crawling through the 2027 Kia Telluride, getting to see the new details, the things that are clever, reinvented, advanced, and evolved in this only 6-year-old model. They really have come a long way. The one thing they're not telling us, and we're going to have to wait until November 20th, what will the powertrain lineups look like? My guess is we will see a hybrid, and my guess is we will see a larger 4-cylinder engine with more power than the outgoing Kia Telluride. November 20th will be the day to check back in and find out if I'm right or not. What we don't see in this one is a plug. Will there be a plug-in version? That's something I would really love to see from Kia. We'll see if they actually do it. I think there's a great opportunity, because if you are a plug-in hybrid fan and you need a 3-row SUV, you don't have a lot of choices. So that's a great option. We'll just have to wait until November 20th to see, and the spring to take our first test drives in the 2027 Kia Telluride.